Monday the 3rd of May, big weanling sale run by NZB in New Zealand. Mark Hughes joins me. Firstly, Mark, welcome.
Thanks, Paul. Another beautiful wintry day up here at Oakbank Estate.
We're at Oakbank Estate, and I'm going to cross to an interview I just done with Louise Toulmin because they sold a horse last year by American Ideal at a 2 6 and purchased it for a modest enough figure, I'd say.
Yeah, look, so 12 months ago, when we're all heavily locked down for obvious reasons in both countries, the weanling sale moved to an online platform. And part of that process, the Toulmin family, headed by Alana, went ahead and purchased an American Ideal filly off us at that sale last year. And as things transpired and time moved on, 14 months later, we turned around and repurchased that filly because she was clearly the best American Ideal filly in the draft from our point of view at the Nutrient sale last weekend. Time and time again, I walked away from her and then went and looked at others, and I kept coming back to her. So, for the pinhookers out there, this is the ultimate end game for them.
Pinhooking is something that's been going on in the thoroughbred industry for a long time. There was 2 or 3, I think, that went through the Nutrient sale from memory. There was definitely one other horse that was named, and I think there was another one that was purchased in Australia, so it wasn't named. It's a different way of doing things, and some people don't like it, some people do like it. But Gary and Alana, they took a punt on a horse and they brought it out here. But you don't have to put it back through the sales to turn a profit. They could have actually broken it in, got it going in that sense, and race it themselves even, and won races with it. There's a few options. That's what this weanling sale opens up, isn't it? It's not just the fact that you're buying a weanling and you've got to sit on it for another year and a half before you can do anything with it.
Yeah, look, there are many and varied options with it. So you buy it, you take it home, you generate your own purchase, particularly for a young trainer in the game, where they don't have to compete 12 months later at a yearling sale to buy a product for a lot more money. You can buy a horse, you can get it going, you can resell it through a yearling sale, you can buy a horse and get it going and sell it through a ready to run, or you can just privately do it yourself. It's an opportunity to come in at at that end of the market where it's not necessarily an expensive experience. And let's face it, a lot of nice horses are being purchased out of a weanling sale. I can stand here today and confidently tell you that the horses bred by us have won Group 1 races and millions of dollars purchased out of weanling sales. My hard copy is the first one. 2 West Australian Pacing Cups made over $1 million, is now standing at stud. He was purchased as a weanling. Party On. Group 1 winning mare, won 4 or 5 Group 1s, purchased at a weanling sale. So there are any amount of scenarios. The Group 3 winning Sapling Stakes winner this year in New Zealand, a Sweet Lou colt, purchased at the weanling sale.
That's they're big names. I didn't know that. You've come. Cam Bray's going to think, geez, he's done his homework. P. Campbell, mate, knew nothing about that at all. That's pretty cool. And they would have been purchased for possibly modest figures. Yeah,
look, I'd say to you that maybe my hard copy maybe around the $4,000 to $5,000 mark. Party On maybe around $11,000. So there are a lot of very good tales to tell out of these particular sales. And for us particularly, it gives us an opportunity to get our brand on the ground, but also to understand that horses like Lou and down by the seaside and What the Hill, we get their product out in the market to give them a chance.
I'll throw to that interview I just did with Louise now, and we'll come back very shortly and just have a bit of a recap, and also on the stock that are going through the sales, mate. Louise Toulmin joins me now. Firstly, Louise, welcome.
Thank you.
Bit cold.
A bit cold today.
Might be different to the other day, but we won't allude too much more than that. 2 6 recently sold at the Nutrient Equine sale and sold for, I think, roughly about $50,000. Is that
Yep, $50,000. Yep.
The reason we're highlighting that is she was lot 176.
Yep, 176 by American Ideal filly.
And she was, recently purchased there. She was actually purchased back by Woodland stud, Mark Hughes, and the stud from New Zealand actually purchased her back as a racing proposition and a breeding proposition. And one of the reasons I wanted to highlight her is that she's actually a really, really good story. Your daughter Alana and Gary got together this time last year and decided they might pinhook themselves a yearling.
Yeah, so they decided that they'd have a look at the New Zealand sale with Nutrient coming on board, so you could sell a New Zealand bred horse in Australia. So they found her and purchased her with the thought to pinhook her, or if she didn't make the money they wanted at the sales, they would retain her as a racing breeding proposition.
Rude question, but how much did they pay for her from the pinhook?
Yeah, so we paid about 11.5, I think. So by the time she got here and you paid all the fees to transport her across and, register her in Australia, about, another probably 10,000. So, yeah, about 21.
It's one of the interesting dynamics that Nutrien bring to the sale ring, that you can resell them. But she's a beautifully bred filly. You guys breed your own and you sell their progeny at the sales. So I would imagine it wasn't necessarily a matter of buying her as a pinhook and then selling her. If she didn't get what you guys were after in the marketplace, you had that other opportunity of being able to race her and keep her as a breeding proposition.
Yeah, well, it's sort of probably once she arrived and sort of like spent some time here, she sort of grew into a really nice filly. So it did actually become a hard decision to actually, put her in the sale and sell her. But, they had a price on her, and, when you sell, you can turn around money that sort of money in such a short term, we did that. So that's what happened.
It was key. 2020 was a very interesting year, COVID lockdown and the likes. People were, I suppose, restricted as to what they could do. They must have, I suppose, been a little bit nervous and anxious, Gary and Alana, about actually firstly doing it. But how did they find the whole process once they got involved in it?
Well, Alana did most of that groundwork. She just sort of was getting the encouragement from her father to keep bidding, unbeknownst to myself. Because I sort of was the one, no, we don't need another one. But, Alana was down actually the time when the sale was on. So they were walking up and down the laneways here, bidding on a horse, unbeknownst to myself sort of thing. But Alana said the whole process was really easy, from the registering to bidding, and also the ability to see sort of who you were bidding against as well, sort of thing. So they said the whole process was really easy.
And the flow and effect, and the reason I want to highlight it is because on May the 3rd, that auction, the sale is going to be on again. It's something that I recommend for young people in the industry to try and turn $1. I think a lot of the times we always just want to race a winner and all the rest, but to try and turn $1 and make a quid out of harness racing, it is something that they probably should look at.
Yeah, look, I think if you've got the ability to, get something in at a lower level, because we all know to breed a horse sometimes too, it's a long process. So, they could buy her with the confidence they'd seen photos of her, and had someone look at her over there. So, they knew the product that they were buying.
And the flow and effect of that is that you guys have got the horse over here. Alana and Gary have, made a little return, or a nice return, whichever way you want to look at it. But the farm, Oakbank, has actually been the big winner out of it, because now the horse is adjusted here. Gary's going to break the horse in here, and she'll probably adjust here for the rest of her racing life.
Yeah, look, that was a real vote of confidence, and, a pat on the back for Gary's job that he did with her, like prepping her for the sales, and, then Mark coming out and seeing her here and seeing the property. So, yeah, we are very grateful for Woodlands to entrust us to look after her now.
Are you going to be involved in this auction coming up on May the 3rd? Not you, because I know the answer for you is no. Alana and Gary, are they going to be involved in it?
Oh, yeah, they're definitely scouring it now already, sort of thing. So, and it's quite funny, even our son, he's probably not a noted horse. He does all the work here on the farm, as in the crops and the grass and things like that. But he's even looking at, the catalogue as well. So, a bit of a confidence for the NZB sale.
Absolutely. If anyone's interested in going about the process, can they get in touch with you guys? I mean, they can get in touch with Nutrien and Woodlands and Brecon Farms. There's lots of them over there. Alabar have got a big draft as well. But would you be happy to, if people ask about the process, you're happy to answer some of the questions for some of the people?
Yeah, no, they can contact myself or Alana to talk them through. We were lucky we had Stuart Valentine when Alana was looking at registering to bid and potentially buying. She Googled, searched and got Stuart's number, and he actually handled the whole process from once she was purchased. He looked after everything. So, yeah, it was really streamlined.
Louise Toulmin, thank you very much. You've done a great job. This could have been the second take, but we won't worry about that. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks. See ya.
Right, so we're back now after hearing from Louise, and Louise has been the spokesperson. Basically, Alana's back in Menangle, and I think she's a driving force. I wish I had got an interview with her, because they do a great job, the Toulmins, and you guys have obviously backed them by leaving the horse here to be broken in by them, which I think is another thing that a lot of young people should look around at, is the fact that once these horses are purchased, there's the flow-on effect, that if you look after them and do the right thing, there's the way of getting associated with a big-time stud like Woodlands.
Yeah, look, I think for us, when I saw this filly, and we always maintained that if you go back and look at last year's promotion of this sale, she was easily our best filly on type and quite possibly on pedigree. One thing about her as well, and I will say this, she was actually bred by Anne-Marie, who works in our office. So she's fairly diligent about a lot of the things that she does. She breeds 3 or 4 a year. And obviously, for all intention purposes, this mare's going back to American Ideal next season now. But there is a long-term outcome. Look, it's hard to get that long-term outcome, but there are great opportunities there for people to be right about it. That sale starts Monday fortnight. There's a chance now to be actually in New Zealand when the borders reopen between Australia and New Zealand officially on Monday. So get over there and have a very good look. It's speculation to accumulate at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and it is key. It's a big sale. I'm actually going to be there over there. I'll be doing a couple of things in the lead up. I will not be there on the 3rd. Unfortunately, I've just got a prior engagement, but prior to that, I'll be there. I'm looking forward to getting around and having a look around. You're going to be over there as well. So people might not know who to contact and all the rest. By all means, they can contact me and I can try and steer them in the right place. But you know a lot of the people over there if they want to find out about these horses. In this sale they got coming up, I've got 130 lots in total. 66 consigned by Woodlands, so that's hence the reason Woodlands are getting a great price. Alabar, huge. They've got a huge draft as well, though, with 53. And, I mean, they do a terrific job. They've done a terrific job with the nutrient sale. Brett Coffey done a great job here promoting all the products. I think what these bigger studs are doing right now is sensational, and with NZB combined, it's really key to growing that harness racing product.
Well, it's a major key for us, and obviously for Alabar, because these stallions need to be out in the market, need to be represented, but also we are putting through some quality horses with very, very good pedigrees. It's not as if there's the bottom of the barrel there. There's some horses there, like we've got half a dozen Better's Delights in there, a number of Sweet Lou's, a number of Down by the Seasides, and obviously there's a dozen there by What the Hill. So 3 of our 4 big boys are there in terms of our pacing side of it. There's an opportunity here to get right in on the ground floor, to get a nice horse for not a lot of money. Leave it in New Zealand, adjust it, and, put it on the plane and bring it across to Australia. My understanding is, look, I was at the nutrient sale on the weekend. I had a number of approaches to me about our stock and about the sale. Our photos and videos were finished today in New Zealand, so they'll all be up next week. We'll just put out on the normal social media platforms when they're available. But a lot of hard work goes into this, and, the Woodlands bred and raised weanling or yearling, is, at least winning somewhere between 4 and 6 races a week in both hemispheres. On a month-on-month basis, we're comfortable in the knowledge that there's an average of 30 winners bred by us in both hemispheres. So here's your opportunity to get in on the ground floor and to buy one. And, we've come away today and looked at our product, and, I can confidently say to you that, in our Down by the Seaside's represented by some stunning colts, and Sweet Lou's represented by some stunning fillies. But a great opportunity exists with What the Hill this season. Now, I can't, recall in recent times where a first season sire has been wanted so much in the trotting ranks. I think he led, he had an average of 5.5 times his service fee at Nutrient on the weekend, and there's a dozen quality lots by him in the sale in Monday fortnight.
Absolutely. We've got some smaller people who I don't know as well that are in this sale. Michelle Carson's, George Brooks Lodge and J&M Tees. I don't know any of those people, but I look forward to catching up with them, and I'll try and bring something back for the Australian people to find out who they are.
Yep.
64 colts, 66 fillies, 38 trotting bred weanlings as well, so there's a great range of it. Ultimate Machette for Alabar, first season. This will be the first time you'll be able to purchase any of those horses as well, so he's got a great draft there. Yep. I think he's got, he said he's an emerging type in What the Hill. You've got Vincent as well. Vincent's who have been well received everywhere that they've been selling as well. Proven sires as well going through. We've got Seaside there who's got 19, so Vincent's got 11. Seaside's got 19. Rock and Roll Dance, always been Mickey. Art Major with 17. Better's Delight with 6. Father Patrick with 2. Majestic Sun with 8. Rock and Roll Heaven 4. 29 Sweet Lou's, a Sports Rider, and a Peak great range of weanlings, good opportunity to purchase horses at this NZB sale.
Yeah, look, there's a wide range there from, look, like all the world's greatest size currently available. You know, North American, there's some European blood there as well. There's a great opportunity to get involved with those horses, you know. And, you know, there's some of the vendors there like Jason and Megan Tees. Jason's a race caller in New Zealand, so that's a little bit of profile behind him as well. And also as well, I think what's this year, Seaside, Vincent, What the Hill, like people have started to rally around. You've got to acknowledge that they've got to go to first season size and support them at yearling sales and in the breeding shed.
And Ultimate Machete, I always say it wrong. I don't know which way it's meant to be. He's one of those horses because he was a pin-up horse for harness racing. He was in the Powerful All-Star stable, and he was just one of those lovely horses that great on the racetrack, great good looks, and looks to be trying to follow in the Vincent mode.
Yeah, look, I'd say so from a colonial point of view. You know, a great son of Bettor's Delight, a dominant horse out of the All-Stars barn at 3 and 4, and got a really good pedigree as well. So, you know, he's another one of those sides that, you know, people will probably need to get behind.
NZB standardbred.co.nz. It's a tricky one for me because it doesn't have the com, but yeah, NZB standardbred.co.nz is the website. Make sure you go onto it and look it up. As Mark said, then videos and photos will be going up pretty much from next Monday, I believe.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday they should all be there about a fortnight ahead of the sale. And for us and probably a lot of the other vendors, their weanlings will be arriving on May the 1st, parade day on Sunday the 2nd, and obviously the sale on Monday, May the 3rd. And for any Australians going over as well, I believe the Road Cup's on the Friday night at Alexandra Park, so a real 4 days of festival of harness racing, if you like, and I know everyone wants to, you know, get travelling again and get out of Dodge, so it's probably a great place to do it if you get that opportunity in a fortnight's time.
Bit of a tease that I'm going to be there for that. I'm actually pretty excited to get there. It is going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. I look forward to doing a lot more with NZB in the next couple of weeks, but definitely getting on the ground over there, visiting a couple of the studs. I think Cam's going to take me to Alabar, Brecon Farm and Woodlands all in the one day, and then we're going to be back for the Row Cup that night, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So Campbell's Comet's going to bring a lot of the colour for it, mate, but it's a really key sale for investors to do what Oakbank Estate were able to do here, to turn a profit on a young horse in 12 months is a good result for them, a way for them to reinvest back into the industry. But it's also a cheap way to buy a horse like Party On. Everyone would love to buy a Party On for about, what'd you say, about 10, 11 grand, you think?
It was 11 grand from memory. So, yeah, look, even a My Hard copy, who I think was 4,000, he made over $1 million.
That's ridiculous. Mark Hughes, thank you very much. Cambrai, you don't get to get your face on this one, mate, because you're stuck over there in New Zealand. Well, it's much better here in Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's great place, Australia. But mate, I'm looking forward to getting to New Zealand. I'm itching.
This dynamic duo will be there. Thank you very much. And as I said, go to nzbstandardbreds.co.nz to their website, and you'll find all the information there, and reach out to Mark if you want any more information, because he'll be heading over there in about 10 days time.
Yeah, plan is to head over probably the middle of the following week, and be there for about 4 or 5 days. Obviously, a few days leading into the sale and then the sale itself. Look, if anyone wants a catalogue or wants any information about, you know, the whole process, wants any advice or anything, feel free to give me a call. And also, you know, we've got a couple of little diamonds in the rough in our draft, and I'm happy to, to pass on to people. But obviously, the good types are going to stand out. But there is a couple of beautiful diamonds in the rough there.
If the mail has come through, I should have catalogues by Monday. There's been a very big issue with my catalogues. Sound me out, though, if you want to. Otherwise, Hughes, you'll be able to look after you. But, thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.